handed this answer to you on a fucking platter, and all you said was, you know what? You guys are really good at being welcoming. People just like you. Cenk, they've got all the
I didn't
money.
say people just
What are
like
you
me. That's very
talking about?
different.
That's effectively what you're good at coalescing.
Cenk Uygur goes off on his TYT employee as she actually, loses her mind over Cenk Uygur talking to the opposition, basically. So here we have a clip here where Cenk Uygur actually goes off on Francesca, who also works on the Young Turks. And basically, she's calling out Cenk Uygur to his face, but she does bring up Anna Kasparian as well. Now, these are becoming too much for changes at the Young Turks, and some of these hosts, included Cenk Uygur, are, well, not Cenk Uygur, but calling him out, especially after Cenk Uygur went to TP USA. So here is a clip of Cenk Uygur actually destroying his employees. So we're going to go ahead and get right into this. Go ahead and click the subscribe button, click the bell notification, and be sure to smash the like button, share the video, follow across social media. Let's go ahead and get right into it.
MAGA is anti-immigration, and I obviously don't agree with them on that. I'm an immigrant, and I'm first generation. I wasn't even born here, right? So all this talk of deportations, and now this crazy thing that one of them came out with, denaturalizing people, that's just nuts, right? So and I say that to their face in all the shows that I go on. I go, look, I don't agree with this, I don't agree with that, I think you're nuts on this, right? But now we do agree on some things, anti-war, anti-corruption, etc. Even if I know, guys, I know Trump is massively corrupt, and they've been misdirected. But within that chaos of the right wing, interesting different coalitions can break out, as you're seeing today with these different coalitions within MAGA. Yeah. So imagine if we had, this is really wild, right? But you've got to take a first step to be able to get to this ultimate conclusion. Imagine if we had voting blocks that weren't strictly Republican or Democrat or strictly MAGA or not, and we could then join the voting block, in this case with Vivek and Ilan, and protect these visas, right? Or in another case, we could join the populist right-wing bloc and prevent a war. Again, those are like huge dreams.
I mean, I think it's sort of a deal with the devil either way. I do want to just step back. I want to step back from the news a little bit and truly understand what you believe you are doing and who you believe you represent. Just really briefly, who you believe you represent when you go on these shows. You say we a lot, and I'm not sure who you are referring to when you say we. Is it yourself? Is it you? And is it Anna and you and Anna? Is it all of TYT? Is it the broader left? Who do you think you represent when you go on these shows to make the case about how there's commonality?
Yeah. So great question again. So first off, for folks who don't know, Young Turks is the flagship show of the TYT network. So the TYT network is the whole left. So Franny's on the TYT network. This show's on the TYT network, and at least on the podcasting side. And so Franny is to the left of me on many issues. So is Jordan Ewell. So many other people, right? And so I never block anyone from stating their opinions. And I like that we have the whole range, right? And in the past, we've had David Pakman as part of the net, like the YouTube network broadly.
But who's the we, Cenk? Who's the we? You've said these things before, and I have thoughts on them. But who's the we?
So that's TYT. TYT is that whole spectrum of left-wing thought. And as you know, Franny, we debate on the show all the time.
We don't. We really, I just want to be fair. We don't. Because if we did, we would have had this conversation many, many times, but we don't. Number one, I am not the main host. Anna Kasparian is. Number two, I am rarely the fill-in host. Jordan Ewell has been filling in quite frequently. Number three, when I do fill in as a host or as a guest, it depending on the story is when we can actually sometimes maybe squeeze in 1 or 3 minutes of debate, but we have to keep it moving. That is the job. The job is to do the news. It's to get to all the different things. So I just want to say that it's very unfair to say that these debates have happened on the main show. Certainly not with me, maybe once around trans issues, but I want to leave that aside. Who is we? Who are you saying when you say we?
Okay, but let me address that real quick. But yes, but I've gotten into so first of all, we do the news, so we debate within that news story. Is it a shorter period of time? Yes. Sometimes I'll do longer ones. I did a longer one with Jordan Ewell and Jules Sulzdayev. et cetera, et cetera. And here we are within the network, et cetera. So now that's TYT is the left in general. Young Turks is the flagship show. That's me and Anna. And so I would say that we, as in me and Anna, are maximum populist, but not maximum left.
Right? What is going on with this line of question? I'm not sure what I'm more confused about. The fact that she keeps asking we, or if he's either answered the question or he's not answered the question. It seems to me like this lady right here is trying to go ahead and let this guy know, hey, you gotta let me know, let me on the show more often. But the fact of the matter is that this is kind of awkward. Basically, so far, this started off as a debate over nothing. Okay, but the fact of the matter is that it seems to me like she set up her own boss to go ahead and get a gotcha question at him. Or I could be wrong. I don't know.
Right. So I am maximum left on some issues, but not all issues. And so those are two different political spectrums. There's a left-right spectrum and the establishment populist spectrum. I mean, I now see Emma Vigeland defending the establishment, which is mind-blowing.
Ari, I want to leave that aside, but I just want to, because I really want to talk about what you are doing and what you believe you are doing. And I want to just explain, by showing, and I want to ask you what you think the goal is of what you are doing. But
now I get it. So basically, as stated in this earlier in the video, ever since Cenk Uygur made those appearances with the opposition, now Francesca is looking to go ahead and basically embarrass him right now, and that's a bad look for you, especially with your boss and everything. I mean, I understand this is her podcast or whatever, and her channel, her platform, but at the same time, I mean, it may not be a good look for you future-wise, or I could be wrong.
Here was a moment where you were on TPUSA's on Turning Point USA's conference, and Charlie Kirk, who is a Christian nationalist. He's an avowed Christian nationalist. TPUSA has had wildly racist and white supremacists associated with them, including inviting people like Nick Fuentes to speak. No matter what you think of his thoughts on BlackRock, here is him asking you about left media. And I got to say, Cenk, this one sucked real hard for me. And you also, I think, have been using these opportunities to talk a lot about the left to the right.
I think the left has some work to do in developing over-the-top media to be able to bypass the main networks.
Yeah, so we have TYT as a giant network, but we have a lot of great progressive and populist shows that are not part of TYT that's in the left-wing ecosystem.
I just want to stop and say, I'm excited to hear which ones you like, given that you just sort of insulted Emma Vigeland just now. I'm curious which ones you actually do still support that aren't your own, but I'm going to keep going, Cenk. Hang on.
So I don't think that that's the issue. I don't think that there isn't enough shows. I think that there's a couple others. One, on the right, you guys do a great job of coalescing. Okay, so you do a couple of things well. You work together well, and you're more welcoming, if I'm being honest.
We're glad Cenk's here, right, everybody?
And a lot of people on the left know this as well. If you agree with MAGA 5%, the answer you get is welcome, right? Come join us, right? On the left, if you disagree 5%, they go, get out of here, you're a right-winger, you're a fascist, right? But if you push enough people out and you guys welcome enough people in, eventually you win the popular vote. That's what I warned them about, and that's what happened, right?
Okay, so there you are, and
Yeah, love it. Stick with 100% on what I just said there. I'm 100% right about that. So let's discuss.
Yeah, let's discuss. You had your say there, and you've been saying various degrees of that same thing. And I gotta say, like, I watched this whole I watched the whole clip, and it started off, and I was like, this is pretty good. This is good. Like, pretty good interview. I like that you're sitting down. It wasn't bad. This moment, like, truly a part of me died when I watched this.
Wow, I can't believe that.
Yeah. Oh, super. Just like shriveled up and died, floated away into the ocean. here's what happens. Couple things. He asks you about left-wing media and why there isn't more left-wing media. Which already, as you are there, you know, in the sort of kingdom of turning points, is like, that's such a dig. Like, why are you guys so weak? Is effectively what he's saying. And instead of pointing out the way that TPUSA has been bankrolled by Republican mega donors out of Chicago and many other places for years now, and talking about how the Daily Wire was funded by the fracking brothers, the Wilkes brothers. Now they're fishing for new, you know, investors, whatnot, but that there is so much money on the right. He handed this answer to you on a fucking platter, and all you said was, you know what? You guys are really good at being welcoming. People just like you. Cenk, they've got all the money.
I didn't say people just
what
like
are you
me. That's very
talking about?
different.
That's effectively what you're good at coalescing. And here's my question to you about so that's just
Okay. She's answering the questions in the wrong manner. Same way she does things on the Piers Morgan Uncensored show on her appearances up there. She gets the basic stuff wrong. She literally just played a video of him talking with Charlie Kirk at TPUSA. Now, crazy part about it is, yes, he went on there and basically appeared and talked with people who are of the opposition of the Republican Party and everything, you know. And the fact of the matter is that, you know, she's, as I heard her say, started off good, but then she started feeling like Cenk turned his back on the left, basically. He didn't turn his back on the left. He simply was honest and everything, okay? He's still part of the left, you know? He's just saying the basic truths about the left. And it seems to me that she doesn't like the fact that she's telling these truths because of the simple fact of the matter is she believes that her side is right all the time. Okay, she does. I never even heard her once come out saying that, you know, the left bombed the election at all. I could be wrong, but like I said, I've never heard her say anything about this. And the gaslighting that she's doing to Cenk right now, I mean, this is just embarrassing for her. But at the same time, not surprising.
Number one on the media, because that just stings because I'm in media. But on the 5%, if you disagree with MAGA 5%, they still welcome you. How did that work out for Liz Cheney?
Yeah. So look, is there a part of MAGA that'll push you out? Of course. That's what we know MAGA for.
When do they push you out, Cenk? When do they push you out?
Largely when you disagree with Trump.
Exactly.
So listen,
this is the thing that it's the unspoken thing that you're never saying, that ultimately it's all hunky-dory. Elon can tweet back at you. Vivek can listen to you. But if you defy Donald Trump, the God Emperor, you're kicked out of the castle. And no one's defending Liz Cheney. Screw both their castle and the other castle. But Liz Cheney voted with Donald Trump 98% of the time. And just the 1% when she was like, hey, you know what? You can't do a coup on this country. And Adam Kinzinger, and they were gone.
Okay, I'm going to do a bit of a correction. Even though Liz Cheney might have voted with them during Trump's first term, but guess what? Liz Cheney was one of the leaders out there who went on ahead and pushed for those J6 investigations against Trump. All right. And the fact of the matter is she's not even talking about that at all. OK, so, yeah, like I said, she's getting her line of questions incorrect as well.
So miss me with this 5% BS, yo.
So, all right, Franny, a whole bunch.
First off, you're not black. Don't say miss me all this BS, yo. That's cultural appropriation, according to your logic.
Bunch of things here. So, number one, you're right. That's definitely how Turning Point started. Daily Wire certainly started that way. I don't know what their current funding is, but they seem to have a lot more funding than any of us do. So you're right, and I have said that in the past, and I probably should have put that in there in that particular appearance, and I will mention that, and that'll really grate on their nerves. But I've got no problems telling their audience, and I tell them all the time, no, you guys have way more money, and they're always shocked by that. And I'm like, because they're swimming in money and don't realize how much we're starving out here on the left, right? Sure. So, and I talked on Tim Pool's show about that. etc. Now, when it comes to the 5%, 95%, yeah, I hear you. So it's when you disagree with Trump, especially in the past, especially in the first term, etc., you're a goner, right? But they are pushing back even on Trump now. So, again, on things that we don't agree with, but on COVID, for example, they thought that Trump did too much COVID protections, etc. And there was, and this is really encouraging. When I talk about Team Miriam, Marco Rubio, Elise Stefanik, Mike Huckabee, and Mike Waltz. So those are the four that were put in by the neocons put in by Miriam Adelson. In the old days, what I would have gotten, Franny, is no way, they're the greatest. They're not neocons. You're a liar. Trump picked them. Trump's the best. Now what I'm getting from the right-wing host, which is amazing, and let alone the base, they're all saying, yeah, I hear you. We got concerns about them. We got concerns. Okay. So that's the thing I never heard before. So that is a change. Now, in terms of the concept that I'm referring to, the 5%, 95%, but Franny, we're in the middle of that right now. This is the perfect example. So I started the largest progressive network. I've given dozens of progressives opportunities they didn't have before. I started Just Democrats, et cetera, et cetera. The minute I disagree like 5% on trans issues or crime, everybody's like right wing, fascist, right wing. Almost every show is saying that. Almost every show.
It's true. It is true, because not only do they do that with those on the right, but they're also doing it on their own. And Cenk Uygur is actually proving that as correct. And Cenk Uygur actually did a good job in explaining this. Yet it seems to me that Francesca doesn't like his answer, his response. But I mean, she has the right to disagree with Cenk Uygur, but at the same time, I mean, it's basically, you know, she doesn't want to see that he's actually correct on this. I mean, the left would actually definitely disagree with people, maybe not 5%, but it's like if you disagree with the left, the woke left on 1% of something, then they're going to call you a right-winger, fascist, this, every ist and phobe in the book. And we've seen that with Cenk Uygur and even Anna Kasparian too. So the fact of the matter is that when it comes to Cenk Uygur making an appearance with a conservative or anyone from TPUSA or any opposition, I mean, it seems to me like, you know, she basically got her panties in a bunch, along with the rest of the people on the left. They all got their panties in a bunch. And the fact of the matter is that Cenk Uygur actually did something where he was willing to go ahead and talk to those who are on the opposition, something that he's never wanted to do. You know, so let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Also, be sure to include any additional thoughts or comments you have on this particular topic. If you enjoyed what was shared in this video, go ahead, smash the like button, share the video far wide across social media. And if you haven't done so already, you enjoyed all the content that I put out there, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, click the bell notifications so that way you'll be notified of future uploads and updates. Till then, peace.